Good afternoon, everyone. Is everybody able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So welcome back to week 10, the third week of our online teaching and learning program for the rest of the semester. Should everything go well and the COVID situation improve, you should all be able to come back by week 14. So let's just keep hoping and praying that everything improves. But in the meantime, we continue with our studies. So this week's tutorial is again on isometric views. This week we're combining isometric views and auxiliary views. So before us we have two questions, and we're given the multi-view, and we're asked to draw the isometric view of the multi-viewed object. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes or so just to quickly sketch the multi-view for this shape. Can I get someone to volunteer from this session to create a Viber group for this tutorial session? Can I leave that with someone to organize? Because I find it easier or more effective if you guys can message me directly from your tutorial groups. The group chat, the 101 past session Viber forum, has become a bit of a place where a lot of useless talking goes on and messages between friends. And I feel like we can cut that out by just having our own tutorial session group. And any questions you guys have directed towards myself, your tutor, then you can ask straight away. And those ones there I can reply to rapidly. So can I leave that with someone to organize? Any volunteers for that? So Mbola, will you be the Iskeli? Will you be the person in charge of setting that up? Okay, Shivni, will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Just
appreciate it, guys.
put your in the chat.
Okay, just write your contacts in the chat, please, everyone. Okay, much appreciated. And whoever's setting up the chat, make me one of the administrators, okay?
Yes, sir.
So yes, last week, unfortunately, we couldn't have your tutorial session. All of last week, I was giving feedback on the different projects. Still this week, I will be doing the comments and sending back the projects to the various groups. I believe two groups from this session have already got this back. Is that right? Two groups from this section have already received the feedback. Okay. So the other groups, don't worry, I'm still working through it this week, and hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have it all done and sent back. I'm working according to the class list on Moodle. So if your name is towards the end of the class list, unfortunately, your group will be the last ones to receive the feedback. But the feedback will be consistent for all, so don't worry. Once I've sent the feedback back, I'm open to you guys sending it back to me once you've made some changes for me to check again. I'm happy to do that. So just a little breakdown of how the project is going to go. So you still have your assignments, I believe, that you still have to complete. Your assignment 1, a calculation report. And your project is the other main assessment, as well as a short test somewhere along the way there. So your project, you will still be marked for your presentation, okay? And the way that we'll do this is we won't have a tutorial in week 13. Week 13 tutorial will be canceled. So if you're worried about attendance, don't worry about attendance that week. It'll automatically be given. And then the week 14 session will be extended to go for 2 hours. Everyone in this session will be required to join. People from other sessions can also join. And we will go according to your groups. And each group will present via either Triple B or Zoom. We'll figure that out later. We'll present for 15 minutes. And then you will be given 5 minutes for questions and answers. So all of us markers will be present. So myself, Joshua Lorima, and Dr. Kabir will be present in each session. And then we'll ask questions. And that's how we will do the presentation for your final projects, okay? So please, as well as completing your final project, the report, also work on the PowerPoint presentation because that's what you'll be presenting to us. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, great. So for these tutorials here, these week 8, these sketching tutorials using Isometric, it's almost impossible for me to assess this during the tutorial session. So what I'll do is I'll ask you guys to sketch it and then take a picture and post it to the Viber discussion forum that I think Shivnil is creating. And once you post it there, then I'll take your attendance. The way I want to treat these tutorial sessions is primarily if you have any questions about the project, because I noticed that quite a lot of people have gotten confused about certain aspects of the project along the way. If you have questions about the project, tutorial sessions, I'll be happy to explain those, as well as some of the tutorial activities. So this one, the isometric, we've done it for multiple weeks now. So there should be no problem for any of you drawing the isometric views. And the auxiliary, I'll show you an online resource that will clearly define or clearly explain how to do auxiliary views. Okay. So hopefully you're all sketching right now the isometric views for part A and part B. The tutorial question is available via the link on Moodle. So I repeat again, for the attendance for this session, you have to take a picture of the isometric views for A and B that you do and post it to our own separate Viber discussion forum, which Shivnil is kindly setting up for us, and I'll take your attendance from there. Is that clear? Is that clear enough to everyone? Okay, good. Okay, so let us have a quick look at the part 2 to this tutorial, which is the auxiliary views. So what is the purpose to drawing auxiliary views? Does anyone know? Any idea why we have auxiliary views? If you know the answer, please feel free to unmute your mic and respond. Okay, so the whole reason why we have auxiliary views is because, yes, thank you, Mohammed. It is used to determine the actual size and shape of inclined objects. That is true, but it's also used because we have 6 views of an object, right? When we do technical drawing, we have 6 views, right? The reason we have auxiliary is because the true shape cannot be defined within those 6 views. So we have to create a separate view that is looking directly at the inclined plane as the picture plane. Okay? So it's basically just to show the true shape. So yes, you're very right, Mohammed. So that's the purpose why we have auxiliary views. Now for this example, we will have to draw a secondary auxiliary view. Why secondary? Because if we just do the principal auxiliary view for the top shape, it won't clearly define the bottom dimension, okay? We won't get the true shape. This is a inclined object in 2 planes, so in the top and the front view. So the way we approach this problem is we draw a secondary auxiliary view. So I will show you an online resource that clearly explains how that is done. Okay, you're all able to see my screen? Okay, great. So just let me know if you can hear the audio. If not, then I will try again. Okay, hold on. So will we be having today's lecture? Yes, you will. First of all, we need to construct here with this, what we call primary auxiliary view. I prefer to call it an intermediate view. It has no relationship to the primary that we're discussing before. We've got the front elevation shown there. The top view shown there. And to construct the primary auxiliary view, we can construct following out HBF, or we could do it following the HBA. We'll look at that one later. This HBF, if we just rotate through that line there, we end up with a view like that, with that face there going straight into the page. Okay. show. Okay. The other thing to note is to construct that view, we've taken lines that are parallel with this line here. So we've taken these construction lines up. The distances we stepped off relate to this reference plane XY. If you notice that when we put that in that position, that is the base of the object. And here, when I had it in that position, that is the base of the object as well. So the distances we step off from the reference plane XY, we step off, we use dividers to get these distances from the plane XY. Right, the next stage is to rotate from that view, to rotate the object around 90 degrees, so this space now becomes parallel. Okay. Now, to do that, we draw these lines perpendicular. That's using dividers, we step up these distances from this reference plane. Rotate that round. Distances stay the same because we're rotating. Probably I mentioned about So yes, that video clearly explains how to develop the auxiliary view for this type of shape with this inclined plane. I will post the URL for that video to this chat, and in your own time you can go and have a look. So just repeating again, in order to get attendance for this week, I expect you all to be sketching and then posting your pictures of your isometric views, so your isometric drawings, to the Viber chat created for our tutorial session. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, this week's tutorial was pretty short and pretty straightforward. It's nothing too difficult. If you took TD in high school, the auxiliary view shouldn't be anything new to you. If you haven't, don't worry. I recommend going and watching that YouTube video again. It clearly explains all the steps and what distances to take when developing auxiliary views. Okay, great, Shivnil. Thank you very much for creating that Viber group. So any questions that you have regarding the project, and I'm not sure about the assignment yet. I'll have to check with Dr. Kabir whether or not we can discuss the assignment with you guys. But I'll let you know in that Viber chat. So any other questions? The groups that I've given the feedback to already, are you clear with the feedback, or would you like me to explain what I meant by certain points in my feedback now? So can you show B? So this shape down here? Okay, great. So the feedback was clear enough? Okay. Like I said, you were able to access these tutorial questions from the link posted by Dr. Kabir in the announcement last night. Okay, guys, if there are no more questions, thank you very much for joining this session. Any questions regarding the project that you have between now and next week tutorial session, please feel free to post them in the Fiber discussion forum. I'll be happy to answer that.